We gather here to celebrate our partnerships, people we work with in and around moose. We just want to celebrate how moose have provided for us since time immemorial and continues to do so today. And we look to the future for the children. We want to ensure that there's a healthy population for them to hunt and feed their families and feed us when we get older. So I want to thank everybody for coming here. We all come together happy and we're here to share our meal. So we'll get the elders to go first and then we'll form a lineup. Thank you.
My name is Tony Sylliboy. I work for Wskitqamu Fish and Wildlife Commission as a land guardian. My position with the Wskitqamu Fish and Wildlife as a land guardian is basically gathering knowledge from both the land and elders and passing it on to the youth.
It's a multi-test role that I have over here on the island. I always tell the tourists, nothing goes to waste. Nothing goes to waste. When the tourists come by, I talk about hunting and fishing at my site. And I tell them about the styles of our homes and our way of life.
When I first got hired, right, we had a hyperabundant population. We had hunters that were taking advantage of this, and they were over-harvesting. It was dangerous. You know, I visited a camp. They're all drinking. They're all getting loose. And the buddy that was drinking, he grabbed a rifle. He says, "Let's go target practice, Clifford." And I found myself looking down the barrel of a loaded gun in the hands of a person who was inebriated. It didn't feel Mi'kmaw.
So most of these guys used to be kind of abusive with the moose hunt, but now they're instead of like selling the moose, now they're giving it out to the community.
Hey, I save everything, or whatever I can use, reuse, like the head. I'll use it if it's a bull moose, I'll use the antlers again. And you got to do it responsibly, you know. You just can't go up there and shoot every animal around, you know. If you need one, just take one. You know, you're not going to take any more of it.
Netukulimk means looking for balance, I would say. Taking only what you need. You have to give back just as much as you take. It doesn't have to be on the spot. You don't have to leave tobacco there. But sometimes in the future, or even sometimes in the past, you have to do something for nature, whether it's planting trees or fixing something that's broken in the woods, but just leaving something there that amounts to the things you take.
When I'm out in the natural world harvesting food or medicine or plants or berries, Netukulimk influences my behavior when I'm in the natural world. And at the end of a prayer, we say msit, all my relations. But msit comes from an understanding that you are spiritually connected. I have sprung from this land. I sprouted from this land. When I die, I go back into the ground and my body nurtures the things that had supported me. So it's a cycle of life. Netukulimk comes from my understanding of that spiritual connection of msit, that we are all related.
Like nowadays, we don't have to hunt. You don't really have to. You know, you're not starving or you don't need any clothes. It's not part of surviving today. It's more like a right.
In my community as well, in other communities, we have the highest rates of child poverty in the province. But we also have the best food opportunities. We have the Breton Island, we have these mountains, we have our moose, deer. So when a harvester brings back a moose and provides food, you can't put a price tag on that. That's food security.
We prepared it and we cooked it. Everybody was saying it's hard, it's moose meat, it's tough. But mostly, you know, you give a lot of meat away to family and whoever wants it. It's a lot of meat. You know, and by the time you give it all away, you know, you're only happy you only have end up with a steak.
maybe we should put up some infrastructure specifically for our youth hunts. The spiritual element has to be brought back. We need youth and elders hunting together. We need families going out to harvest for their families, to bring food to the table, and to make sure that the food gets to our people. You're an indigenous food sovereigntist. You come to these places, you're part of these places, and you come back with something. And if you don't come back with anything, you come back with knowledge. I can talk about Netukulimk, left, right, and center, but if I don't live it, breathe it, taste it, share it, love it, then I'm just a carrier of knowledge, but I'm not transmitting that knowledge. I think when you have Netukulimk in your heart, these places will always be productive.
We wake the day, the light rising in us like sun, our breath, a prayer brushing against the feathers in our hands. We dance in two worlds, inevitable as seasons in one. Exotic curiosities in the other, which rushes headlong down highways, watches us from car windows. The image obscures the vision, and we wonder whether anyone will ever hear our own names for the things we do. Light dances in the body, surrounds all living things. Even the stones sing, although their songs are infinitely slower than other ones we learn from trees. Change moves relentless, the pattern unfolding despite their planning. We're always there, singing around dance, song, remembering what supports our life. Impossible to ignore.